Have you ever asked yourself any of these questions? Why am I always tired? How much sleep do I really need? Why can't I fall asleep? If this sounds familiar, this is the video for you. Today I'm going to be discussing a little bit about the science of sleep and how insomnia works. I recently read a book, Say Goodnight to Insomnia, by Greg D. Jacobs, and a lot of what I'm talking about comes from this book. So if anything in here interests you, check it out to learn more. Let's first talk about why the body needs sleep. Actually, no. Not even the leading experts in the field have figured out why our body is programmed to sleep. So let's talk about some of the side benefits. Not all sleep is the same. There are different levels of deepness of sleep, and each has its own benefit. I'm going to be simplifying here, but I'll split them into deep sleep and light sleep. Deep sleep is vital to our health. This is where our body and brain rests and recovers. As you can guess by the name, this type of sleep takes time for our bodies to reach. Because it is so important, our brain prioritizes this kind of sleep. In fact, Jacobs states that our core sleep, or the sleep that we need to obtain to function properly, is achieved in the first 5.5 hours of sleep. If you obtain less of that one night, our body will compensate the next night to recover. While still important, the lighter sleep stages play a different role. This type of sleep tends to affect your mood and process your emotions. The implications of losing this sleep are usually short-term. Our bodies are fairly robust at being able to pick up the next day without having to make up much of a sleep deficit. Most people need 7 to 8 hours a night to be optimal, but only need 5 to 6 to maintain their health and cognition. However, keep in mind that your body prioritizes core sleep, so if you get less than 5 hours one night, your body will skimp out on later stages the next night. Insomnia is the result of learned behaviors. I know this sounds weird, I suffer from insomnia on a regular basis, but it really is something that we adopt over time, just like talking, walking, and anything else. The problem is that this skill is counterproductive. Our bodies are trained to adapt to situations, and many times we train it to adapt to the wrong situation. Our bodies learn to associate certain triggers with sleep, as well as wakefulness. The process for improving sleep is essentially training your body to adapt properly. So what exactly does it take to improve my sleep? Improving sleep is simple once you learn how the body prepares itself to sleep. Our bodies have a sleep-wake system that works to keep our lives in balance. Sleeping disorders are the result from this system failing. This is different from feelings of tiredness or being well rested. Our bodies are able to tolerate sleep deprivation pretty well. After a bad night's sleep, our bodies can still focus and remain alert for important tasks of the day. On the other hand, sometimes we may feel completely exhausted and sleep deprived, but still lie awake for hours at night. The key to improving your sleep is learning how to manipulate your body to trigger when you want it to sleep or be awake. Jacobs relates our natural sleep-wake cycle to internal body temperature. Our bodies naturally heat up by slight amounts throughout the day, increasing wakefulness, and cool slightly throughout the evening, increasing drowsiness. Another important trigger is light. Jacobs also analyzes the relationship between light exposure and internal temperature in detail. As we increase our light exposure, we also increase our internal temperature and wakefulness. Anxiety, depression, and other mental and emotional distresses also play a big role in shaping our sleep quality, and vice versa. I'll save this for another time, but if you struggle with anything in this realm, you may want to seek more qualified help if you really want to see an improvement in your quality of life. Anxiety in particular can make it difficult to get a good night's sleep, as daily anxieties and stressors can take extra long for your brain to let go. Find things that help you to relax. Here are some bedtime tips if you find yourself having a hard time falling asleep at night. Avoid bright lights, make your environment cooler, but not so cold it makes you uncomfortable, and don't engage in stimulating behavior before bed. This includes things that excite you or stress you out. I found that light reading and meditation are great pre-bed activities. Though if you find yourself feeling sleepy even earlier than you want, you may want to pull back a little. I do this by doing something simple on my feet, like emptying the dishwasher. Be careful about sleeping pills. While appropriate in some cases, Jacobs makes it clear that most people who use them end up dealing with problems worse than insomnia. If you find yourself having a hard time waking up, you can try naturally increasing your body temperature through physical activity. Try using brighter lights in the morning. If the sun is up, there's no better light than that. You can also try engaging your brain. Now I know that if you're having a hard time waking up, you're not going to be able to do your calculus homework first thing. So instead, try stimulating things that aren't cognitively demanding. This can be as simple as talking to a friend. Think of how much easier it is to stay up until 2 a.m. when you're with your friends. So there you have it. What are some things you've seen increase your sleep quality? Leave a comment below. And if you learned something, go ahead and like and subscribe.